2.2. Confined space refers to a relatively small or restricted space such as a tank, boiler, pressure vessel, or small compartment. Confinement implies poor ventilation as a result of construction, size, or shape rather than restriction of egress of personnel. E2.2. For additional information, see ANSI Z117.1, Safety Requirements for Confined Spaces, and applicable OSHA Standards 29 CFR 1910.145 for general industry, 29 CFR 1926.353, B, for construction, and 29 CFR 1915 Subpart B for maritime. (2.3) Cylinder storage refers to cylinders of compressed gas standing by on the site, not those in use or attached ready for use. 2.3.1 Cylinder in use. This term refers to the following. 1. 2.4 Immediately dangerous to life. 2.5 2.6 2.12. This term also includes educators and students that are engaged in similar activities.
You have completed this module on the AWS ANSI Z49.1, Safety in Welding, Cutting, and Allied Processes. Section 1 and 2, Purpose and Scope and Definitions.
Why did I do that? What the fuck? Playing real life fucking Silk Song right now, having to kill these fucking mosquitoes. What's up, guys? No dice. Just a chill Monday, yeah. I already finished work. Now I got class. We'll be getting this Charmander. I don't think I put a title on the video, but... This is like day 5.
Safety module on the AWS Safety in Welding, Cutting, and Allied Processes. ANSI Z49.1, Section 3, General Provisions.
No nicknames.
And Supervision.
We don't do nicknames out here.
Click on the image of the standard to download a digital copy.
I don't know why it's looking so bad on the screen. This is like a nice IPS one. It's probably the lighting.
In this module, you will review Section 3, General Provisions for Setup and Installation, including guidelines for management, supervisors, and welders. Click Next to begin. Everyone is responsible for welding safety. This section of the AWS manual explores different responsibilities required for 3 distinct roles: welders, management, and supervisors. We'll start with responsibilities required of every employee. Click to review each of these.
3.1.1 Equipment and condition maintenance. All welding and cutting equipment shall be inspected as required to assure it is in safe operating condition. E3.1.2. Most manufacturers provide safety information along with operational and maintenance information. Operators should become familiar with and follow that safety information.
No nicknames.
3.1.3. Heavy portable equipment on wheels.
Let's get this Charmander though.
Heavy portable equipment mounted on wheels shall be secured in position.
You know, fuck welding safety. It's not that major, right? Just blowing up acetylene. Oh, I got shrapnel in my nuts.
3.2. Responsibilities. Operators and management shall recognize their mutual responsibilities for safety in welding and cutting.
Now, let's review the responsibilities.
Hell
required
no.
for each of the
Screw
three
these.
roles,
Yo, appreciate the
welders,
like, my friend.
Management and supervisors. Click to explore each role.
Appreciate y'all, all of y'all hanging out with me, no matter how fleeting it may be. Let's get this
Click
Charmander.
to review each of the welder's responsibilities.
3.2.
Hope you can appreciate the educational content in the
Welders
background.
shall understand the hazards of the operation to be performed and the procedures being used to control hazardous conditions. Welders shall handle
No
the
dice.
equipment safely and use it so as not to endanger life.
I'm gonna be grinding all my shitty welds off into the direction of the acetylene, you best believe.
E3.2.3.1. Welders make the final choice to weld or not to weld. They need to understand the hazards before proceeding. 3.2.3.2. Permission. Welders shall have permission of management before starting to weld.
No,
or
there's
cut.
not a lamp over here anymore. I don't know
Welders
why
shall
it's looking
continue
so
to weld or
bad.
cut only so long as conditions are unchanged from those under which permission was granted.
Yeah. So the Jews in New York gotta tell me when I'm allowed to weld, of course.
3.2.3.2. C6.3. In many facilities, management grants blanket permission for cutting and welding where fire hazards are not present. 3.2.3.3. Safe conditions. Welders shall
Sorry, I
cut
kind of got
only
some
where all
cutthroat
safety
humor.
precautions
If you
have
don't
been
fuck
met.
with it, I do apologize.
3.2.3.3. Do not work alone where conditions are especially hazardous, such as where electric shock is a hazard, or where ventilation is poor, etc.
Oh shit. Do you have Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap? I have it. I was an ambassador for the 3DS, so I did have that, and like I have it on my 3DS consoles, but I don't have it for the Game Boy Advance. This is authentic hardware, Fire Red, but no, I'm not super big on Zelda as I used to be. I still fucking love Pokemon though.
3.2.3.
No nicknames.
Marking hot materials.
San Andreas, what's up, my friend?
Unknowingly come in
Michael,
contact with hot
Michelle, I mean,
materials
sorry, I'm
during
just
welding.
bad at
A
reading.
notice shall be posted.
I'm well, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you joining me. Let's get the Charmander. If you don't mind hitting those lucky buttons for the computer, making sure, telling it that I'm doing a good job, I'd highly appreciate that, but I'm not gonna beg.
Now, let's review the
Appreciate y'all rocking with me.
responsibilities required for each of the three roles: welders, management, and supervisors. Click to review each of the management responsibilities.
3.2.1.1. Training. Management shall assure that welders and their supervisors are trained in the safe operation of their equipment. Safe use of
This
the
is
process,
Pokemon Fire Red.
emergency procedures.
I'm making a solid guess. I think this game might be older than you by at least 15 years. But that's just a presumption. But how are you doing, my friend?
3.2.1.2. Hazard communication. Management shall assure that hazards and safety precautions are communicated to and understood by workers prior to the start of work.
I used to be much better at it than I am now, my friend. But yeah, I think I still retain some knowledge from back in the day. I dedicated far too much of my life playing these games. So yeah, I'd say I'm better than most, or I'm not bad, but I'm dead set on getting this Charmander.
E3.2.1.2. The hazards which may be involved in welding are communicated to users through manufacturer's instructions, safety data sheets, and product labeling. See Clause 9, precautionary information, of this standard. See especially OSHA 29 CFR, Section 1910.1200.
What games are you into, my friend? Good at anything? I used to like Splatoon. I don't think people really play Splatoon. I go on the live competition live streams, and there's like only 1,000 people in there. But that's not bad. But
3.2.1.3. Designated areas and responsibilities. Management shall designate approved areas and establish procedures for safe welding and cutting. A designated management representative shall be responsible for authorizing welding and cutting operations in areas not specifically designed or approved for such processes. Management shall assure that the individual is aware of the hazards involved and familiar with the provisions of this standard.
hey, yo, and if you guys choose to subscribe, you could be saving me from a life of having to inhale welding fumes. And that's how my granddad died. And I got pretty much one lung as it stands, so anything helps. Head a subscription, it's free.
3.2.1.4. Approved equipment. Management shall assure that only approved apparatus, such as torches, manifolds, regulators, pressure-reducing valves, acetylene generators, welding machines, electrode holders, and personal protective devices are used. 3.2.1.5. Contractors. Management shall 1. Select contractors to perform
Got
and
him.
provide trained and qualified personnel.
Wasn't gonna show you the smushed Skeeter on camera, but I got his ass.
Contractor management about flammable materials or hazardous conditions that are specific to the job site.
Playing that IRL Silk song. I'd be telling you, I gotta wait till the mosquito season dies out because they in here. And I'm having to take breaks from boss fights. I'm having to pause my playthroughs. I gotta play something a little less demanding. Because these mosquitoes be eating me alive. It reminds me of those what were those guys in the first Hollow Knight that just like had lock on? They were harder than some of the, harder than the actual bosses. I don't know. They were little mosquito looking guys with orange asses. If you know, you know. Anyways, continuously, yo. Thank you for rocking with me.
E3.2.1.
Thank you for the likes.
Now, let's review Click to review each of the supervisor's responsibilities.
3.2.2.1. Safe use of equipment. Supervisors shall 3.2.2.2. Fire hazards. Supervisors shall determine what flammable and combustible materials are present or likely to be present in the work location. They shall ensure that such materials are not exposed to ignition by taking one or more of the following actions. 1. Have the work moved free from combustibles and away from hazardous areas. 2. Have the combustibles moved a safe distance from the work or properly shielded against ignition if the work cannot readily be moved. 3. Schedule welding and cutting so that such materials are not exposed during welding and cutting operations.
What's up, guys?
3.2.2.3. Authorization. Authorization for the welding or cutting operation shall be obtained from the designated management representative prior to the commencement of hot work or entering a confined space. Supervisors shall oversee that the welder has approval that conditions are safe before going ahead.
Hold up with me just a sec. Just a sec.
E3.2.2.4. C6.2, 6.3, and 6.4. The inspection is usually made to detect and extinguish possible smoldering fires. Be alert for circumstances which may require an extension of the final inspection interval.
Now, let's review the response. Finally, let's wrap up by comparing and reviewing each role's responsibilities for safe welding. You have completed this module on the AWS ANSI Z49.1, Safety in Welding, Cutting, and Allied Processes. Section 3, General Provisions. Welcome to this Miller Safety module on the AWS Safety in Welding, Cutting, and Allied Processes. ANSI Z49.1, Section 4, Protection of Personnel and the General Area. Click on the image of the standard to download a digital copy. In this module, you will review Section 4.1, Protection of the General Area, Section 4.2, Requirements for eye and face protection, as well as Section 4.3, Protective Clothing. Click Next to begin. Explore this welding space and see how ANSI Z49.1 safety requirements are built into this area.
Interactive moment.
4.1.3 Protective screens. Workers or other persons adjacent to the welding area shall be protected from the radiant energy and spatter of welding and cutting by non-combustible or flame-resistant screens or shields, or shall be required to wear eye and face protection and protective clothing.
I already know all this shit, but it's another semester, and technically you can take this class before the other classes that I've done, so they have to tell it to you every time at the beginning. It's annoying.
E4.1.3 Screens. Radiation protected, semi-transparent materials are permissible. Screens should permit circulation of air at floor level as well as above the screen. Refer to NFPA 701, Standard Methods of Fire Tests for Flame Propagation Textiles and Films. For information. 4.1.1 Equipment. Welding equipment, machines, cable, and other apparatus shall be located so that it does not present a hazard to personnel. Good housekeeping shall be maintained. E4.1.1 Equipment. For example, locations such as passageways, ladders, or stairways should be kept clear. E4.1.2 Signs. Additional precautionary information should be posted when circumstances present additional hazards. E4.1.4 Reflectivity. Finishes formulated with pigments such as titanium dioxide or zinc. 4.1.4 Reflectivity.
Click to explore the facial requirements for arc cutting with open arcs.
4.2.1.1 Arc welding and arc cutting with open arcs. Welding goggles, or welding helmet or welding face shield over spectacles or goggles shall be worn during all oxy-fuel gas welding and cutting, and submerged arc welding operations. Additionally, protective spectacles with side shields, arc goggles, or other approved eye protection shall also be worn.
Click to explore the requirements for eye and face protection.
.2.2.1 Filter lenses. Filter lenses shall be in accordance with ANSI E4.2.2.1. See latest edition of AWS F2.2. Filter lenses should be free from any flaws which may distract, block, or otherwise impair vision. Persons with special eye conditions should consult their physician for specific information on protective equipment,